Welcome everyone. Today we'll have a comprehensive food guide and tier list. We'll start with the notes I have prepared over here, as you can see. So we'll go through the 5 types of food, which are stamina, revive, healing HP, attack buff, and defense buff. And we'll also touch up on the details of each of the foods, and also the highest grade and also the strongest food can be found. Now keep in mind, those can be very expensive. At the same time, I'll go through the tier list of the most cost efficient or effective food. So the farmable materials, the lower cost of making the food, and also the effective healing and buffs we can collect. And finally, we'll touch up on why it's important to collect ingredients periodically and stock up for patch 1.1. And also, as you get to higher levels, which are adventure level, you will need some of the food to help. To start this comprehensive food guide, we'll go through the basic of the type of food. You can see the 5 types over here and the same buff of the food does not stack. Coming over to my inventory with food, you can see the attack tag, the defense tag, revive tag. And if I were to have an attack food over here for attack damage, I cannot have the critical rate food because those two food are the same type. So the strongest food over here, the highest rarity food, will prevail. And if I was to have the purple food, the effect of this one will be removed. So this is what I mean by food does not stack. And similarly, there is a 2-minute global cooldown with revive food, so we cannot revive multiple characters at once. Also, there is a limitation of how much healing food you can use on one character as you restore the HP. After 5 or 6 usage in a short time, the character will be full of food and he or she will refuse to have any more healing. Now let's have a look at some of the highest grade of food. Over here with Genshin GG, what you're going to see is it's broken down with status food, and after that is healing food and the defensive food, the revive food. What I do recommend you guys to have a double check is the status or the writing here are not correct. If you have a look at here with Jade Puzzle, it says 65 to 95 for 300 seconds. But if you come into my inventory, you can see that my Jade Puzzle is 272 and critical rate. So the information provided by Genshin GG is not correct on this one. I believe they have updated after the beta. So what we're going to do is we're going to see the best food on the fandom over here with the tier list over here. So you can see there is only 1 star, 1 5-star food, 2 4 stars, and followed by a few of the 3 stars. Of course, the strongest attack food has to be the Adept's Temptation, and you can have attack and also critical rate. Similarly, you can go for Jade Puzzle for something very similar, and this is a very powerful food because we don't get that much attack from a lot of the artifacts or weapons. This can be like half of a weapon, or this can be almost stronger than 1 or 2 artifacts. Next up, we have the defensive food for 261 defense and also increased healing effect. Keep in mind guys, those food are very expensive to make, and this is why as we go through the tier list, very soon we're going to go to the cost effective food, because there's no point of me showing you the best food when they actually takes you 1 or 2 hours of farming, or you can only make 1 or 2, because then when would you be using them? Because I want to make food for you guys that you can use all the time, and that's why very soon we'll go to the next part. Now, if you haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so. Make sure you also turn the bell on for the latest news as I find more of them for us. You can see that we're really dedicated for Genshin Impact. We'll have builds, guides, tips, news, and events updates for everything that's Genshin Impact related. For the restorative food, we can have the blackback, the stew over here, with 26 to 30% to all the party members, also regens HP. This is one of the really powerful food as well. And also we have a few of the following food. We'll touch on the stamina food as well. You can see over here with the decrease of all party members' consumptions by 15 to 25%, and those are different type. There's climbing, sprinting, there is also gliding and sprinting over here as well. So different food have different effect. And what I did was, instead of just showing you guys the food together, I have tallied up some of the best food we can use and make for each of the type. So let's go through those. First up, we have the stamina food, which is going to be the cream stew. We can find the cream stew over here as a 2-star item, which decreases stamina depletion of sprinting by 15 to 25% for 90 seconds. This is a very nice food because it's not too costly. We're looking for raw meat, we're looking for cream, we're also looking for snapdragon. This is a plant we can find on the map. The raw meat, I'll show you guys the vendors, also where to farm lots of raw meat as well. And finally, you can buy cream from the vendors. And if you're looking for other things like gliding, if you're looking for swimming, there is also food available for that. But for our purpose, most of us will be running a lot in the game, so we're going for the stamina food with sprinting for now. As for the cooking requirement for the food, there isn't any, so you don't get anything special if you have someone, and you don't have to worry about anything if you don't have anyone. Next up, we have the revived food. There isn't that many choices with revived food. Most of them just revive with barely minimal HP. You could go for the Noel specialty cook food with lighter than air pancake. Now keep in mind guys, if you get the normal tea break pancake over here, it only restores additional 550 HP. You don't get the 20% maximum HP. And Noel's rate of getting those pancakes, I tried it, it's less than 10%. So it's not really worth it to buy berries and flowers and to just go for the Noel specialty. I recommend just going with the fried eggs and just revive your characters, then heal them. Followed by the revived food, we'll look into the HP healing food. There's a number of food I have collected, and you can see the specialty with different characters, and if you don't have those characters, that's okay as well. So we'll go through the best ones, then we'll go down the list. First up, you can see the Warren Restaurant boiled fish. This is the same dish over here, I'll show you guys. This is the same dish as the blackback perch stew. So this is the same dish, but this is a special dish because we have someone that's cooking it. With Shaolin that's cooking it, we have a small chance of obtaining this one for higher HP restoration and also higher HP regen. If you do not make this food with Shaolin, that's okay as well. You can simply make this particular dish for similarity. So basically you lose a few percent of maximum HP, you lose a bit of HP regen, the ingredients are the same. But if you're getting Shaolin to make it, there's about 10 or less than 10% of getting something better. You can also see that I have highlighted the main ingredients in a different color. So here I highlight the bird eggs, over here I highlight the raw meat. Over here you can see fish and liver chili is going to be more important because most of the other items are more easily purchasable or can be found in the wild. After the boiled fish, we can look towards a mushroom pizza, which is also a 3-star item. The required item isn't that much, but you do have to buy some of the processed items or make some of the processed items with cheese. You do pick up the other ones quite easily, and you can find it in the vendors with 100 stack every day. After the mushroom pizza, we have the hash brown. Hash brown can also be made with Bennett for extra healing and also a boost of extra flat HP gain. Now anything over here I have highlighted, that means it's quite harder, or maybe it's the main dish or the main ingredients. For the hash brown, the main ingredients is jam. Jam is one of the processed food which we can find over here. So if you go to the food section, if you click on the other side, you can see the processed food. The processed food take the normal ingredients you find and also some of the ingredients to process. The biggest thing about this is it takes a lot of time, 10 minutes for each of the jam to be made. Now it is possible to purchase some of the processed food like the smoke fowl, like jam over here, but keep in mind, not only do they have a very long cooldown to purchase, they also have a limited stack. It can be okay if you're a little short on time to purchase those, but it is always cheaper if you make them yourself. As we go down the list of the healing food, you can see that the restorative effect will reduce, also the rarity. But at the same time, the cost of the ingredients will also reduce. Keep in mind, I have selected about 5 different food for different categories. So this one uses fish, this one uses mushroom, this one uses jam, and so is pho and raw meat. So I have separated the food so that this way it doesn't consume the same ingredients for us. Now if you're wondering where to get the raw ingredients, I do have a video ready for us with the locations of the vendors. Over here you can see that I showed the different vendors on different locations for the raw food and for the main ingredients that's going to be needed for the food. You can see that we can buy raw meat up to 10 times with this particular vendor in Springvale. So I do recommend coming back to the ingredients shop locations if you're looking for those ingredients. Next up, we have the attack buff food. You can see over here I have included 2 of those. One is specially highlighted because all of the products or all of the items that's needed can be purchased in the special ingredient shop. So go back to the vendor video, you can find all of them to be purchasable. And this is a very basic item. It doesn't cost that much. I think it costs about 700 for the 300 seconds buff, and the attack increase up to 92% with perfect cooking. So this is a very common food you can use all the time for 700 mora every 5 minutes. I'm not saying to use it all the time. When you actually have a harder fight, or if you're just going for the weekly boss, you can consider using those. At the same time, if you're going for a cost-efficient food that is also very powerful, go with the Jade Parcel. Jade Parcel increase attack by 320 and also critical rate by 10%. I'll show you guys my Jade Parcel over here. I have made one of those. So over here you can see that my Jade Parcel is not perfectly cooked. if you cook them perfectly, the stats are higher. And the stats is almost equal to the Adept's Temptation. That's how good the Jet Parcel is, and costs about a third the ingredients and the process compared to the Adept's Temptation. Just to give you guys a better comparison, you can see the 2 attack food, about 50 attack difference and about 2% critical chance difference. Everything else is the same, but the ingredients for adaptation are much further, and it does take longer to collect them. If you do have the ingredients for the highest tier food, definitely go for those, but if you're going for regular food you want to use, go with the Jet Pass over here. And finally, we have the defense buff food, and over here you can see the special highlight because the Fisherman's Toast is all purchasable again with 720 moral total cost. So those items can be purchased in the shop, and this gives the entire party about 117 defense for 300 seconds. That is not bad. Usually I'm looking at about 600 to 700 defense for the party, so another 100 defense is always good. And this food can be consistently used all the time if you're fighting for difficult dungeons and weekly boss. Now you might be wondering, hey, there's a lot of other good food out there. For example, the Cow Lily seafood soup gives us the defense buff, which is almost double as the one you showed me. Why is that? It's because food like those actually cost a lot more ingredients, and they cost the ingredients which is going to collide with other things. I'll give you 2 examples over here. If you're saving for Adept's Temptation, you need lots of crab meat. And if you happen to be crafting your Lily seafood soup, you're going to consume crab meat. And what's going to happen is those food ingredients are going to collide. And the processed food and everything with the Adept's Temptation will take a lot of space and a lot of time. And because of that, I have not selected the food with high stats because they actually collide in ingredients. Now, after knowing there's some pretty cost-effective food that is available, I still recommend you guys coming back and still consider to craft some of the best food. If you're missing the recipe, what you can do is come back to the fandom and click that particular title. You can see the writing will tell you where to get the recipe. And what you want to do is you can save up for the particular items for the highest grade of food. But most of the time you will not be able to make a lot of them. So what I recommend is come back to the Excel if you're looking for common usage and frequent usage. If you want to treat yourself with something special with one of the strongest food, you can still craft in your ability the best food that is available on this particular site. To summarize this food guide video, it is important for us to recognize for each type of food they do not stack, and also there's limited usage of the healing food, and this is why we might want to craft some of the 3-star and 2-star healing food. I'll show you guys my healing food over here. You can see that I can get the 28 or 30% maximum HP for the entire party. This is a much more powerful healing food compared to the Sweet Madeleine, which only gives one person the fixed amount of HP healing. And finally, it is very important for us to collect raw ingredients periodically as they respawn across the map. We didn't get time on this video to show you guys some of the wild spots to collect meat and also bird eggs. Next time I'll make a video on this one. For now, try to collect as much ingredients as you can. And keep in mind guys, one of the best ways to find the ingredients you're looking for is going to be the interactive map. You can see over here I'm looking for crab. If I'm looking for a particular flower, it does show on the map. So if you're looking for something and if you're not sure where it is, check on the map, and this is the best way to find your raw ingredients. Now if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe and also turn the little bell on for the latest news. I'll be looking towards to make more builds, guides, tips and news and event updates for us as we come further into the game. And as always, I wish you guys the best of luck with Genshin and have the most fun in exploring this wonderful world.